The Lions, man. You know, Ann Arbor hosted their parade for the national championship. The University of Michigan did on Saturday. They had street closures. It was like that must have just been a little warm up for what the Lions got cooking.
Yeah.
If they can accomplish what they want to this offseason. The Lions got the playoff monkey off their backs. They're going to host a second playoff game for the first time in franchise history. Peter, you had a great take on Brad Holmes and just how he has gotten the franchise to this point. For a guy like him, looking at this team, this organization, what does this mean for Detroit?
Yeah, look, we know the history. We know that they were in this long drought. We saw the videos and the pictures of the fans who are season ticket holders for 40, 50, 66 years of not seeing a playoff team like this. They're getting a second home game. I thought it was cool. Ross Tucker, our buddy from the show, was doing the sideline reporting for the radio on Westwood One, and he interviewed Aiden Hutchinson after the game.
Yeah.
And they're interviewing Aiden Hutchinson, and he goes, yeah, and now you guys are home next week. And Hutchinson had no idea. Like, what? We get another home game? Because you think about Dallas just finished right before them, and they were so focused on the Rams. To get another Detroit home playoff game, they'll end up playing the winner of this Eagles-Buccaneers game tonight. And I have no doubt that Detroit's going to be the favorite. I thought they slayed so many ghosts in this thing, and they put away so many different demons. Moving forward as a franchise, I mean, what free agent wouldn't want to play for this coach, play in this building, and run through a wall for this ownership group that has given them every resource possible over the last few years? It's a great story. If it ends right now and this week, that it was still a great story. I don't think it is ending. I thought it was really cool at the end of last night's game with about a minute left as Goff has taken the knees. Chris Collinsworth kind of cedes the mic over to Mike Tirico, who is a Michigan native, and say, what's this mean? And Tirico was near tears just saying how important it was for that state. A beautiful, beautiful victory. Everyone stepped up and exceeded expectations. And I thought to hold on, just when you're waiting for a potential Jared Goff gaffe or a Jared Goff mistake, Goff makes the two huge throws, converts the first down at the end to Amon-Ra St. Brown, and gets to enjoy the cheers from everybody as he's taking knees against his former coach and team. Beautiful win, and a beautiful win for this franchise, which is a feel-good story now, but they could be doing a lot more over the next few weeks.
Tirico, great all weekend. He was in Kansas City, and then he goes to Detroit and does that. That line, though, that he had when he was asked about, you're from Michigan, like, what does this mean? He goes, it's always SOL. And I'm like, Tirico, where are you going here? Same old Lions. It was so good. Tirico just put the perfect bow on just explaining that question, what it means for the Lions and the organization.
It was so cool to see because just the scene set, like they're showing everybody before the game. You got Barry Sanders down there. You got Megatron down there. Big Sean the rapper. They're showing Eminem in the crowd, pumping them up. He had the promo videos all. And that's without even saying that Matthew Stafford, the longtime quarterback that leads them in all the statistics, is coming back home to play against them in their first playoff game in 30 years. So you put all of that mixed into a one-point victory. When you ask what it means for the franchise, that was everything last night. You talked about how long they've waited, but to wait that long and to have a playoff game like that with that many people in the building, the Sunday night game of the Super Wildcard weekend, and your guy Jared Goff absolutely goes off. For a Lions fan, that just was everything. You said it, Kyle, like fans weeping in the stands and everything. But I think, Shregs, how you ended was the main thing. The Lions weren't looking this season to get into the playoffs or win the division for the first time and then celebrate it and say, well, we did it. We finally got that monkey off our back. They're a team that they feel like, hey, we can go win the NFC and be playing in a Super Bowl. So I think for them, this is just the beginning, and this is what they expected to happen when they saw it way back in August in training camp when they started talking about the expectations for the team.
You guys know I try as hard as I can not to reflect too much on the Lions' past because it's just the future and the present is so good. It did blow my mind, though, when they score the first touchdown and David Montgomery, it's a 1-yard touchdown, and Tirico says, that's the last rushing touchdown by the Lions in a playoff game was scored by Reggie Bush. I was like, what?
I did hear
What
that.
the hell is that? I have no memory of that. It must have been the one they lost to Dallas, I guess, right?
Theo Reddick and Reggie Bush.
Yeah, and Reggie was like, and that's
Wow.
just, that kind of lets you know, like, did you have Reggie Bush in your lines? Like, were you thinking about that going into that game? Not at all. I think now the challenge is, okay, you kind of did it. You won the division, you got the T-shirts, you got the home playoff game, you showed up, you won it, you avoided this crestfallen disaster of losing to Stafford. Now, like, go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
That's the challenge this week for Dan Campbell is not to celebrate too much and not to sit there and be like, mission accomplished. Like, the NFC is all right there. Are you telling me that whoever wins this game tonight between the Eagles and Bucs is going to be some intimidating opponent? Due respect to the Eagles and Bucs, like, them going to Detroit, beat them. and then deal with likely San Francisco, maybe Green Bay. It's like the Lions should try to get to the Super Bowl this year. Don't ever get caught up in we're on schedule and maybe we're a year away. You're not a year away. This is the year. You got stars. You got a quarterback and a coach. I just hope that they turn the page really quickly, and I know they will. And it's even a Metallica song. Turn the page. It's a Bob Seger cover.
Perfect.
Turn the page.
Bob Seger from Detroit. Let's go.
The Silver Bullet Band. Turn the page. Here we go on the road again. But you're not on the road. You're home. It's even better. Don't blow out the candles because you won a wild card game. Get to the Super Bowl. Get to Las Vegas.
Can I also say the showing of the grown men crying, borderline can be cheesy sometimes. Not cheesy at all. For all the Lions fans I saw, it was like I welcomed that show of grand male emotion from players to coaches to GMs to the fans. It was fantastic from top to bottom. I think this was going to be the heaviest of emotional weights for the Lions, and now can just be fun and freelance and play your way to Vegas and take over.
There's a chance that it's not only the Lions in the NFC Championship game. They could be hosting the Green Bay Packers in an NFC Championship game if things go their way. If the Packers upset the Niners and if the Lions win one more game, they're hosting the rival Packers who have had their number for 40 years and have owned that division coming into their building. I get excited for
It's a good picture.
That's a crazy Packers path. You have to go to Dallas, go to San Francisco, and then go to Detroit. Woo!
That's why the divisional round is fun because the big boys are coming out.
Yeah.
Baltimore and San
Right. They've been waiting.
Rested.
They've been waiting.